How much are you worth? Not the money in your bank account, not the price of the clothes on your body, but you? Your soul? Your existence? We live in a loud world. A world that is constantly putting price tags on everything. It tells us that if we are not successful by 25, we are failures. If we are not rich, we are lazy. If we are not popular, we are invisible. And slowly, without even realizing it, we start to believe these lies. We carry a heavy burden of worthlessness in our chests. We look in the mirror and see someone who doesn't matter. But what if I told you that your value has nothing to do with what people say? What if I told you that you are holding a treasure inside you, but you are simply standing in the wrong room? Today, I am going to share a story with you. A story about an old watch. But be warned, this is not just a story. It is the answer you have been searching for all your life. The story begins in a small, quiet town. There lived a young man who was struggling. He tried to find a good job, but was rejected. He tried to find love, but was heartbroken. He felt like a mistake in the grand design of the universe. His father, a wise old man, lay on his deathbed. The father could see the pain in his son's eyes. He knew that his son didn't need money, he needed wisdom. With trembling hands, the father reached under his pillow and pulled out an object wrapped in a silk cloth. He slowly unwrapped it to reveal a watch. It was not a beautiful sight. It was a pocket watch, heavy and cold. But time had been cruel to it. The golden paint had peeled off, revealing rusty metal underneath. The glass face was cracked like a spiderweb. It looked like something you would find in a garbage bin. The father whispered, "My son, this watch was given to me by your grandfather, and to him by his father. It is over 200 years old. Before I leave this world, I entrust this to you." The son held the watch, feeling its weight. He thought, "Why is father giving me this piece of junk? It doesn't even work." The father continued, "But before I give it to you fully, you must do something for me. Take this watch to the jewelry store in the city market. Do not sell it. Just show it to them, tell them you need money, and ask how much they will pay for it." Out of respect for his dying father, the son agreed. He put the rusty watch in his pocket and walked towards the city. The market was busy, filled with people shouting and trading. He felt small. He felt embarrassed to show such an ugly watch to professional jewelers. He entered the biggest jewelry shop. The air inside was cool and smelled of expensive perfume. The owner, a man dressed in a sharp suit, looked at the young man with suspicion. The young man pulled out the watch and said, "Sir, I want to sell this. Can you tell me its value?" The jeweler picked it up. He didn't even use his magnifying glass. He just glanced at the rust and the cracks. He let out a mocking laugh. "This?" the jeweler asked, "You want to sell this? Look at it. The mechanism is completely dead. It's just scrap metal. Honestly, it's not even worth my time." The young man stood there, humiliated. The jeweler sighed and said, "Fine. Since you are already here, I will give you $5. That's for the metal weight. Take it or leave it." $5. The young man took the watch back, his face burning with shame. He walked out of the store, hearing the customers whispering behind him. He felt like the watch, old, broken, and unwanted. He returned to his father and said, "Father, let's throw it away." The jeweler offered $5. He laughed at me. The father, breathing slowly, said, do not be angry, my son. Now, go to the pawn shop around the corner. Ask them." The son was frustrated, but he went. The pawn shop was dark, smelling of old dust and cigarettes. The owner was a grumpy man who barely looked up. The pawn shop owner took the watch, turned it over once, and threw it back on the counter. Clang! The sound echoed in the quiet shop. "It's junk," the man grunted. "Who uses these anymore? I can't sell this. I'll give you $2, just to help you out. Now get out." $2. The value had gone down. The young man felt a tear rolling down his cheek. He was right. He was worthless, just like this watch. He stormed back to his father's room. "Father, this is a joke. $2. Why are you humiliating me like this?" The father held his son's hand. His grip was weak, but his eyes were intense. "One last time, my son. Please. Go to the city museum. Show it to the curator. Just show it." With a heavy heart, the son went to the museum. He didn't expect anything. He just wanted to finish this task. He found the curator, an elderly man surrounded by history. The son handed him the watch, expecting another insult. But the curator didn't laugh. He gasped. He quickly put on white gloves. He placed the watch on a velvet cushion. He examined it with a specialized lens for what felt like an eternity. The room was silent. Finally, the curator looked up. His eyes were wide with shock and admiration. "Young man," he whispered, "where did you find this? Do you have any idea what you are holding?" The son stammered, It's just my grandfather's old watch." The curator shook his head. "No. This is not just a watch. This is a masterpiece crafted by the legendary watchmaker of the 18th century. We thought all of these were lost in the war. The movement inside, it is complex art. This is priceless." The son asked, "So, how much is it worth?" The curator smiled and said, "To complete our collection, the museum is authorized to offer you $1 million right now." $1 million. The world spun around him. $5. $2. $1 million. The same watch. The same condition. But a completely different value. He ran back to his father, breathless, and told him everything. The father sat up, a peaceful smile on his face. He said, "I wanted you to learn this lesson before I die. The watch is you, my son." The jeweler saw scrap metal. The pawn shop saw junk. They looked at the outside, at the rust and the cracks. But the curator, he knew the history. He knew the potential. He saw the masterpiece within. How often do we stay in places where we are offered $2? We stay in jobs that drain our souls. We chase people who treat us like an option. We surround ourselves with pawn shop people, who do not have the capacity to understand our worth. And because they cannot see our value, we think we have none. But you are not the rust on the outside. You are the masterpiece on the inside. If you are suffering today, if you feel small, it is not because you are broken. It is simply because you are in the wrong place. Don't let the world decide your price. Find your museum. Find the people who look at you and see magic. Find the work that makes your soul shine. You are worth more than you can imagine. Never settle for the $2 life when you have $1 million soul. This is Peak Life Direction. If this story helped you find your worth, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Tell me in the comments, are you in the right place? Stay strong. Stay valuable.